So, hey, Iron Sharpens Iron family. Today we're going to talk with actually my neighbors, and this is a very special testimony. So, I want to introduce you guys first to Gus
Hello.
and his mom, Sarah.
Hello.
And, well, you guys, Gus, what have we been going through, I guess, for the past, how many months now?
We've been going on a half box and being a man of God through
Yeah, Every Man a Warrior. And how many months have we been going now, Sarah?
I think it's been about 6 months, maybe.
6 months. Wow. And I mean, time has flown, with the time that me and you have been together, and just how much you've been learning. What are some of the things that you've been picking up with Every Man a Warrior?
just how to stay in the word and really show people like care for people. I've opened up more, and I've just been felt more of me than I did before this.
That's huge. Being able to open up and share himself, and what's that been like for you?
Oh, it's been wonderful to watch. He's a very shy person. And since he started doing the book and just meeting with you, I mean, just the influence that you've had on him has been really big. But to watch him kind of grow into his more mature self, his more spiritual self, he's knowledgeable in the word, and you can tell it's not just in his head, it's in his heart. So that's been wonderful to watch.
That's awesome. So Sarah, if you could tell them a little bit about, I guess, what you've seen him go through with Every Man a Warrior.
So one of the things that has been good for him is kind of just the discipline of getting into the book and getting into the word and recognizing the importance of it, and just the discipline. I think kids, especially at this age and this time, they're just, they're not very committed to things. And just watching him make the commitment, follow through with the commitment, and just seeing the fruit of that in his actions and his words has been pretty awesome.
And Gus, what have you seen as far as the biggest change you've seen in your life with what you've been going through?
I've definitely put more work into things. I know do anything like that I'm going to do. I do it all the way. Just can't.
And as far as that goes, I mean, the discipline of the book has also kind of gotten him in a routine of discipline with his workouts. So it goes hand in hand. So he's definitely been, he's very consistent with his home routine as far as working out and things like that. And I think it just goes hand in hand with the book.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been learning about what it is to be a man or a godly man of character through Every Man a Warrior and that journey. But that journey does require a lot of discipline and a lot of, being able to do those little things when nobody is looking. I know we've had a lot of conversations about little things when nobody's looking. Let's just go boxing and keep it simple. What are the small stuff that you have to do to get better?
You gotta run. You gotta do jump rope. You gotta do a lot of footwork. You gotta do basically everything by yourself. You learn things and then you put it to work by yourself throughout the whole week.
Yeah, and the reason why I was so excited for Gus to learn boxing, because you told me he had done team sports. So he was a baseball player, and with team sports, it's easy for you to take your foot off the gas and your teammates keep you kind of going in the right direction. You know what I mean? Like if you have an 0 for 3 game at the bat, but your teammates have been doing well the whole time. You guys still win. And
Or the opposite, which is
Or the
where
opposite.
where he struggled.
yeah, where you're doing all the work and you know, but now you're seeing in a solo sport, and that's what
Yes.
we talked about in a solo sport. It's really all down to your effort. So let's talk a little bit boxing. What has that started, or where did you start with boxing? Did you come in knowing anything, or let's talk about that.
I came in thinking I knew things about it, and I realized that it was a lot harder than I thought. And then I just have fun watching videos and learning more about it. And I just like to put that into what I do by myself. And I like the fact that I can do it anywhere.
Yeah,
Like shadow box, I can do for like 2 minutes anywhere.
or it's so easy to just go for a run and get your cardio working.
Or just go around.
Or even there's like the mental reps, you know. Mikal will tell you, I'll be sitting in the car and I'm like,
Yeah.
she's like, you ducking? There's nothing coming at you. Huh?
Gus does this all the time at home.
Yeah.
It's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
So at home, you have an older brother who's kind of expressed an interest as well. So what's been what has he seen in you that has made him want to?
I feel like he's been through a lot, but he's changed also very much recently. And it's been through just me and him being able to communicate to each other more positive things than negative. And that's more on my part because I'll stand down to him a lot of. I feel like I can tell him what to do now.
Because of the boxing or because of the book?
Well, both.
You have the confidence to
Yeah.
speak to him about stuff now.
Yeah, like, I feel like I have more knowledge to tell him. Like, I can tell him like, you can believe all this you want, that it's not wrong, but I feel it's right. So I'm gonna prove to you it's right with my actions, not like me just telling you. But I try to just be a better character than speak it.
And that's big. I mean, I think about like just in my reading recently, it's very much the attitude like David took. You know, with Saul, if you're familiar with the story of Saul and David, you know, Saul is the guy that's supposed to be, you know, he's older, he's a head taller than everybody else. He's, you know, the bigger, the first king of Israel. And David is the younger, and David is the servant of Saul to start with. David is, you know, looked at as, you know, just a meager little brother, especially by his older brothers. He's got like 9 of them. But in the end, he's the one that, you know, he follows God's, you know, will, and he follows the Lord righteously. And we're talking about him many years after the fact because of those things.
Yeah.
You know, he led with righteousness. It didn't matter who was older, didn't matter who was bigger. You know, he's the one that displayed godly character. And I feel like you're doing that with your older brother.
Yes.
And seeing it. Well, I mean, we all try. Sometimes we, you know, fall short, but those moments where we really demonstrate, they're really planting seed. So I encourage and, you know, I'm definitely proud that you're doing that because you're sharing something that I'm sharing with you. And I remember in our conversation to start, I was telling you, I'm going to bring you through this, but I want you to bring someone through because it's about teaching the next person.
Yes.
So who comes to mind for you as somebody who would be that next person?
Either, yeah, definitely my brother or my friend Jacob. He, I think it would be good, the book, and just just like everything was just every Tuesday or whatever it would be. But yeah, I would like him to go.
And isn't it crazy how your spiritual walk has impacted even your physical? The discipline you built in that is shown up in other places. Where else could you see that shown?
Just relationships in general with people. I feel like I have more authority to speak truth instead of just listening to what everyone else says. Just going with the flow. I think I want to do that. And go with that.
Yep.
I don't just walk with the crowd just because they're going one way.
That is the biggest lesson, I think, out of all of this.
Like, if I'm going to go do something wrong, it's never because a group's doing it. It's because I choose myself, put myself in it.
And then even if you did something wrong, I mean, what comes after that is wow, you gotta accept the responsibility for it.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
That's why I don't ever put myself in a crowd. If I'm going to do something wrong, it's my responsibility, not.
How have you seen the relationship with like friends and stuff with Gus? Has that changed, or is he bringing around
Yeah,
different
I mean,
friends?
well, the friends haven't changed, but the influence on the friends have changed a lot. Well, his closest friends are his brother and Jacob, and for a while, Gus was coming to church with us. He was listening to podcasts. He was doing this with you, so he was kind of starting to grow in his faith walk, and so he didn't change friends. He just started influencing the friends around him. So with that, like they have a group chat that they're in, and they send each other like motivational things and,
That's awesome.
and scripture and podcasts and things like that. And you know, Gus is, I would say, the leader in that.
Good.
And it's by him living it out makes them see that it's worth living out.
That's big, and I love hearing that he's already doing that and building a community.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say, what's your next step with that? What are you going to do?
I would say you just have to keep it growing. Like, you know, it's like if you plant seeds in 2 people, those people will go and do it themselves. You just have to have faith and wait. It takes time and planning, I guess. If you like, you can't just tell them one time and then they just automatically. You just have to keep sowing and keep grinding at them, but not forcefully, obviously. But you want to keep it going, and then once they get there, they'll learn how to put it onto other people. And that's the main goal.
Yeah, pouring into each other. And I would say with your group, one thing I would encourage with these 2 guys that you have, close group, and this is something I did, and this is something I would encourage everybody to do, is to make them, or if they're not the right person, seek out the right person for an accountability partner. I have seen the biggest growth in the years of my life where I had an accountability partner than where I wasn't accountable to anyone. Because it's very easy for you to just let yourself off the hook when you fall short, or you don't accomplish a goal. You give yourself leeway. But if these guys are holding you up as accountability partners and you're doing the same for them, the bar is always being raised. So I would say that would be the next thing, is for you guys to hold each other accountable, to whatever your goals are, to whatever you guys know is right, righteous, and to admit when you guys fall short or sin, admit it to each other. Because when you leave it inside, that's when it festers. But when you bring it out and you can bring it up to your brothers and stuff, it's gonna strengthen your bond with them, but it's also gonna make you a much stronger individual. So awesome, man. I didn't even know that he was doing that.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you to do that either. Awesome.
And it's just been a product of just, you know, just like you're his accountability, I feel like, in a lot of ways. He's accountable to me a lot of times. He's actually encouraged me to start working out and doing stuff at home, right? So he's just a very overall encouraging person. And it's funny because he was going through counseling, and this was probably the biggest hurdle he had, was communicating with others and standing up for himself. And you know, he's been doing counseling like that for like a year, and in the last 6 months he's been with you, I've just seen a complete turnaround.
Wow.
So yeah, it's something he's dealt with this, well, for a while.
Yeah.
So
And it's coming around.
he's coming around. It's
Yeah.
a good feeling.
Yeah. That's awesome. Gus, is there anything to share with someone out there? Maybe there is another Gus. Anything you would like to share?
Don't give up. And if you have something to chase, just chase it no matter what people say. Everyone's gonna hate. Can't get around it. Can't get past it. You'll hear it all the time. You'll listen and keep going.
Amen.
And life's great. Don't let the bad things bring you down.
Yep. How about you, Sarah? Any moms out there with another Gus?
I would just say that, you know, do what you can to encourage your kids along the way. I feel like this has done amazing things for Gus, and if my other son ever decides he wants to do it, I would be completely on board, because it's just made all the difference in the world. I've spent years praying for mentors for my kids, and I feel like this is an answer to that prayer. Okay, great.
Well, Sarah, before you make me cry.
I'm good at that.
Thank you guys so much for sharing that. If there's anyone else out there who does look for accountability, mentorship, or coach, this is why we do what we do. This is why Mikal and I do what we do. And we'd love to work with anyone else out there who is seeking that out. Please reach out to us in our direct messenger board, or, you know, comments, or, you know, visit our website, isifit2717.com, any one of those ways. Thank you guys so much for sharing.
Yes, thank you.
All right, guys. Well, that was it for this testimony from Gus and Sarah. Thank you guys for watching and sticking along this long. And we'll talk to you guys soon. So remember to go out there and make moves and not excuses. God bless.